Good night, Vatos. Thanks again for tuning into yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again. A little late on the news, but man, I've been busy with the Sportster. I've been busy with a whole, sorts of different stuff. But anyways, let's get into the topic of today's video. We are looking at the Sportster Nightster 975, Sportster, 1275. There's been a few patents for the name of this thing, and people are kind of leaning towards the Nightster, which is a good looking bike. I mean, based off the silhouette and a lot of the other things that I didn't like on the Sportster is, I'm glad they addressed those things. They toned it down. It's not so cartoony. It's not so, it's just outrageous in the overall design. Like they mentioned in the other video, they cranked it up to 11. And, they put regular size tires on it, wheels. They toned it down. They made it a little bit more traditional, but man, you have that Revolution Max drivetrain, powertrain. It feels great. I've ridden the Pan America. I've been on the Sportster S. They feel great, but they're new bikes, they're new technology. Harley, it just hasn't been around for a while. You guys already saw what happened with the Dyna, the Death Wobble. They haven't addressed that. You guys saw what happened with the 2017 Milwaukee 8s, and they haven't addressed that. The sumping oil issue on those things are grenades. All right, you don't know when they're gonna go off. They haven't addressed those issues, and they haven't recalled any of this. And of course, this is just the stuff that bugs me with Harley. I'm straight up, I'm gonna wait on this. Even though I want one, I really do. I'm pretty sure the 975 is gonna feel just as amazing as the 1250. There's a lot of technology on this bike. The sport mode, man, these things feel ridiculous. It's crazy. So let's just go ahead and watch the video. I guess I have it on mute, and I'm just gonna point out a few things. Of course, he's walking a old school Sportster. It's been around for over 50 years, and there's the Revolution Max. Nothing that we've already haven't seen before. Just the overall silhouette of this bike, I believe this thing's gonna look hot. It's gonna look amazing. So some of you guys saw right there towards the end of the video, April 12th. Of course, that's the announcement. When is that? Is that a Monday? I believe that's a Monday. I'm looking forward to it. I've been talking about this bike a lot. The performance, like I said, I've been on it. The 975, it's not a drastic, downgrade from the 1250. If you've been on a Sportster, on a Evo engine, of course, on an Evo Sportster, you know that this thing's going to perform a lot better than the 1200. So anyways, let's just look at the silhouette, not to, talk about the Evo. I love that bike. The feel, I just got one. I recently just got another Sportster. So let's just look at the silhouette. As you can see, we have the intercooler right there, Revolution Max. You can kind of see it as well. It's got a round air filter, air breather. The tank badging is going to be a little bit subtle. It's not, too much. It's not too drastic as the Sportster S. So as you guys can see, it's got a shorter fender on it. It's not a full size. I prefer a full size fender, but I think this is, a lot better than the Sportster S. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the overall look. You have a toned down fender, you have a toned down seat, you have a toned down exhaust, of course, 2-into-1 single pipe. And a toe down, front wheel. So some people are saying this might be a 48. Yeah, I don't see that. I'm seeing more of a probably iron or the Nightster. They might be bringing the Nightster back. Who knows? But as you guys can see, it's got that little mini screen fairing on the front, bikini screen or bikini fairing, whatever people are calling it out there. But kind of like the Scout Rogue. If you guys seen the Indian recently. You know what? It's a good looking bike. I'm looking forward to test riding this bike. Of course, it's going to be out here pretty soon in San Jose. So you guys, stay tuned for some more Indian videos. So I'm guessing 19-inch on the front, single disc brake, and probably a 16-inch wheel on the rear. Maybe 15, 16, maybe. I don't know. You guys, just let me know in the comments. Can I click on this? Oh, and this is a front shot of the bike. You have the, is that where the, I guess that's where the bar end mirrors on this. More of a drag feel, of course, so it's more of traditional Sportster. You have more of a drag bar setup here, and you know what, the bike looks great. You can see right here, I believe that's part of the radiator towards the bottom. Of course, the radiator sits a little bit on top. Yeah, that might be a skid plate. You guys saw Pan America, they have a lot of aftermarket parts already for this, for the Revolution Max, and I believe that's where Harley's kind of, you know, based on the video, I'm guessing they're gonna have some aftermarket support, you know, straight out of the gate. So I'm looking forward to that. And as you can see, the same, you know, speedo on the Sportster S. So yeah, I mean, man, this thing looks amazing. I'm a huge fan. Like I said, I'm a fan of what Harley's doing with this new bike. Here's a close-up of a different tag badging. I don't think, or who knows, this might be a different model. You know, this one might be the Nightster. This might be, you know, just your standard Sportster. You know, it's a good looking bike. 3.5. Hopefully they have a 3.5 gallon tank and not a 3.3. It looks like the handlebars might be the same. Yeah, it looks about the same. As you can see, it's got that little bend right there. So yeah, it looks like that's the same setup. Usually with the Sportsters, they change the colors and they change a couple little components on the bike, and that's how you get the Nightster, the Iron, the Roadster, the 48, of course, and so on, the Custom. Let's go ahead and look at their all right, so I went ahead and signed in real quick. You can see, man, this bike's gonna look amazing. I can tell you that right now. It's got you know, it's got that look of a Sportster. You see the shocks are actually on the outside. It looks like the shocks are actually on the outside. Is that how the 48 is? I don't think that's how the 48. Sorry, not the 48, the Sportster S. I call this thing the 48 because it looks just like a 48. You got the, you know, the big fat tires on the front and the back. So yeah, this thing has it has rear shocks. A lot of Dyna folks are gonna like that. Looks like shocks on the outside. Exterior shocks, no more of a monoshock setup. That's what I like about this new frame, this Revolution Max frame. They could adapt it to anything. This is something that I've been talking about in my other videos. You know, the Pan America, based off of this, you can make a scrambler, a flat track racer. You know, just the options are a cafe racer. Man, there's so many things you could do with this new frame, this new platform. And this is where I was talking about, where you want to maximize your profits. Not like the Livewire, you can't use any of those components on any of the other bikes, so you're pretty much a one-trick pony with the Livewire. With this, however, with this new frame, the way you know, the engine is part of the frame, and that's what gives it more structure, you know, foundation on the Revolution Max. And that's why it's like under 500 pounds, this bike. So it's going to perform amazing. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fast. You know, it's lighter than a Softail Milwaukee 8, and it has a little bit more horsepower. So you guys saw the S has what, 130 horsepower and 100 torque, 100 foot-pounds of torque, and it's lighter. It's about 150 pounds lighter than the Softail. But man, this bike looks solid, guys. It looks nice. Like I said, I might have to wait for it until they figure out some of the issues. So let's go ahead and look at the silhouette on this side. You know what? This is an eyesore. Have you guys seen some of my images on Instagram? This is by far the ugliest engine Harley has ever made on the left side, of course. You guys see what Indian has? Man, that bike looks beautiful on both sides. On the Revolution Max, however, you see a lot of the, you know, the inner workings, the hoses. It's just not pretty. It's not pretty at all on this left side. A lot of ugly. Typically, Harley has some kind of a design, and you know, it's just something that they're known for. But for them to have this engine like this, yeah, it's an eyesore on the Revolution Max. But anyways, going back on with the exterior shocks, as you guys can see, it's right here, so it's confirmed. More of a Sportster FXR, I guess. Dyna. A lot of people were upset about the monoshock change, so I guess they're trying to get both parties, kind of like what we saw with the Chieftain, the Indian, when they went ahead and had external shocks. So the seat looks a little basic, maybe like a bare bones solo seat, of course. The tank looks a little bit closer to a Sportster. You don't have that Sportster S look at it at all. So man, this thing's already, this thing looks 10 times better than the Sportster S already. And going back over to the Sportster, of course, man, I'm not a fan of these wheels. I'm not a fan of a lot of these components, but you know what? I'm not going to bash on the Sportster. Let's just look at the Nightster. I'm going to call it a Nightster, but yeah, there it is. April 12th. Good looking bike. Let's go ahead and look at this next image. It's got of course, the license plate because of the chopped fender. Here's a look at the what is this? The transmission. Yeah, on the right side, I guess. Yeah, this would be the right side of the engine, I believe. Yes, because you have the pretty side of the Revolution Max. A primary transmission, whatever. Yeah, it's got, I'm guessing it's throttle by wire, LED, of course. You have a bulb. You have a bulb on this one. Are you serious? Come on, Harley. It's 2022 already. Stop doing this. That looks like a bulb. I don't think that's LED. Unless I missed something. I don't know. You guys go ahead and leave your comments down below. Let's look at this one right here. Yeah, man. You can see this bike's going to be a good looking bike. Here we go. We already saw those images, and then of course we get the little promotional video that we saw earlier. Yeah, I mean, this is the video. So you know what, I'm excited. I like what I see. I'm a fan of this drivetrain. Like I said, I'm a fan of the frame. This bike feels solid. I was impressed. Doing 90 100 miles per hour on this thing, you don't feel it. So you guys just stay tuned. All right, you guys let me know in the comments. You guys excited for this? Are you guys gonna wait maybe 2 to 3 years? I'm working on another video where I share some of the concerns, some of the problems that the Revolution Max has been having. So I don't want to get into it with this one, but maybe down the road I'll get around to editing and publishing it. So you guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.